Look at all those faces. Look at all those excited faces. What are they excited for? They're excited for the Global Game Jam that is coming up in 2020 on January 31st, going through February 2nd. Hi there, Nashville. My name is John Gale, and I'm happy to serve as the organizer for the 2020 Global Game Jam right here in Nashville, hosted by the Nashville game developers. Now, if you've never heard of us, or if you don't know who I am, let me explain a little bit about what's going on here. The Global Game Jam is an international event where on Friday, January 31st, they are going to announce a single theme for the entire world to use. And by Sunday, February 2nd, we are going to make a game based on that theme within the span of a weekend. It's a great event, great for developing your game design skills or whatever sort of artistic or creative skill you look to bring to the project, whether that's music or art or anything like that. So I highly encourage you to get involved. Anyone of any skill level is welcome. And I'm going to give you some more information about how you can participate and get involved. So first thing, a little bit about us, Nashville game developers. We are hosting the event. You can check us out on Facebook and on Twitter. Let me get out of the way so that you can follow those groups, and you'll see all the posts about the Global Game Jam that we make on those social media platforms. I'd also encourage you to join our Discord. Now, I'm just assuming that QR code still works. We made earlier this year. You could try to snap that on your screen right now, or there is the direct link to the Nash Game Dev Discord. Those are all the ways you can connect with our group and also keep up to date with all the updates of the Global Game Jam, like what I'm doing in this video right now. Now, as for Nashville game developers, we are now officially our own nonprofit organization in the state of Tennessee. We are still working on what's called 501c3 status with the IRS. That's a tax-exempt charitable status with the IRS. That's a longer process. Take about 3 months. Not sure if it'll be done by the time the Global Game Jam rolls around, but we are registered in the state of Tennessee as a nonprofit looking to promote game design and game development here in the Middle Tennessee area. And the Global Game Jam is one of the ways in which we do that. By hosting this international event, we host the Nashville Jam site, and we could really use your help with bringing the Global Game Jam to Nashville, and also we could use your participation in it. So first things first, let's talk about the GoFundMe page. We did this for 2019 and it was really successful. We need to raise about $3,500 just to pay for hosting the Global Game Jam. I'll break down some of the expenses later. But if we even go beyond that to $4,000 or $5,000, that would be a great thing, because now that we are a nonprofit organization, we do have annual expenses to keep up with. And so far, the Global Game Jam fundraising is our primary fundraising activity for the year. So we really need everybody's help raising this money, and I'll show you how you can help with GoFundMe. It's really easy. I really like it. It's secure and it's transparent, and I'm going to have all the links in the video description and all over the place. We're going to have links to all these websites that you can get to. You just go to GoFundMe, the link to our specific 2020 Global Game Jam Nashville. I'm going to get out of the way, and you just click on this Donate Now button, and we'll get started on the process. Now, the minimum donation, my understanding, is $5. So I'm just going to start with that. GoFundMe you can tip GoFundMe, and that would be a nice thing to do, but I'm just giving an example here. I'm just giving an example, and I'm going to donate some more later. Okay, so $5 I believe is the minimum donation. Every little bit helps. And then you have your basic information that you put in here. I'm just going to, I don't mind if y'all email me or whatever about Global Game Jam stuff. I'm just going to hide my personal information. I donated because, and I'm going to indicate that even a $5 donation like this helps in a big way. Okay, so there's my donation. And now you put in your credit card information. So it's, again, a secure and transparent way for us to collect money. Definitely don't want to be showing off my credit card information in the video. So I'm just going to put that in and keep on going. And the next screen is to confirm the payment. We let the payment process, that $5 payment, going through, and then boom, we did it. We did it. We now have the donation. Another way you can help, there'll be a really big, huge help, is sharing it on Facebook with your family and friends, which we'll get to later. So X out of that. Yep. You can also tweet it, email people about it, help us spread the word. Now, for those of you guys who, I get it, maybe you're in college or whatever, eating the bologna on hand sandwich, and you just, even $5 is kind of tough right now. That's fine. That's totally, we understand that. We get that. If in the very least you could click on that share button and share it with your friends and family who maybe do have a little bit of money to help out with the cause, it'll be really appreciated, because we do have very, very real expenses going on here, which I'm going to tell you about. Just so far, for putting on the event in 2020, this is money our organization has already spent. $437.50 for the venue deposit at the Wond'ry at Vanderbilt University, and we've got one more payment of that amount to make, and we need to raise the money for it. We don't have the money anymore to make that high of a payment, and so that's where we need your all's help with. We've also already cut the money, $127.14 for the event insurance. So even though the event is still 3 months away, we have already paid $564.64 total to bring this event to Nashville. And that just shows you sort of where that $3,500 budget comes from. It does pretty much cost that much to bring on this event, and we need the help of donors and sponsors again in 2020. The reason we were able to already have that money on hand this time and pay it and get those bills paid and get those expenses out of the way was thanks to our 2019 sponsors. I'm going to get out of the way and give them another shout out and thanks to the Wond'ry at Vanderbilt University, where we hold the event, our wonderful presenting sponsor providing the venue, the Tennessee Entertainment Commission, Nashville Software School, Ariton Games, you can check out their game Spaceward Ho on iOS, InPal Audio, In-Town Sound Design Studio that's been hosting the meetups recently. Big thanks to InPal for that. Giant Scam Industries, you can check out their game Chop It VR game on Steam, and they're also actively testing their new VR game Snapshot and posting about that in Nash Game Dev. Thanks to Cat Pants Games and their game Orange Table that's out on iOS. Hiragana Breaker on iOS and Android on Google Play. Full disclosure, that's my game. The Grand Old Game Room Expo, which is actually coming up next weekend, a whole weekend full of pinball and retro arcade games. Benson Studios, Eventbrite, Jake Grizzly Pierce for some graphic design work, Walliam Studios, Terrence for his great graphic design work, George Darling Photography for being our official photographer in 2019, Mercury Intermedia for hosting Nash Game Dev through 2019. Black Box Realities really came through with the Costco shopping for us, providing all the drinks and everything in the 2019 jam. Daniel Ledford on behalf of learningwithlena.com, and Bandazzle, awesome music app, lots of quizzes about your favorite rock bands. Bandazzle out on iOS and Android. one more time, just from the heart, a huge amount of appreciation to all our sponsors and also our individual donors from 2019. The individual donors, just those people giving that $5 or that $20 here and there, they raised $240, which is pretty much the same amount as a major sponsor. So those small $5 donations do really help out. We do need everyone's help again this year, bringing the event about. Previous sponsors, I'll be contacting you soon, but feel free at any time to go onto the GoFundMe page and make that secure sponsorship or donation, and we'll give you the shout outs and everything, which I'll detail in a further update. Now, the next step, for those of you who want to actually participate in the game jam that weekend, spend the weekend making a game, there's a two-step registration process that I'm now going to go through. First, we have created an Eventbrite page, and if you go to the GoFundMe, if you go to the Eventbrite, the links to all the other pages are on there. So let's head back to our internet browser and let's go to the Eventbrite page. Again, I'm going to have the links in the video description, and the links will be everywhere. There's no need to search. We want to make sure you get the information. This Eventbrite page is how we actually count the number of people who are on site, who are participating. There's information about the schedule there, some frequently asked questions. By registering for this Eventbrite, you're also agreeing to the terms and conditions, including the code of conduct for the Global Game Jam, the international event itself. Now, right now and through January 14th is what's called early bird registration. If you do the early bird registration, that is how you are guaranteed to receive a t-shirt, a free t-shirt at the event. So you want to make sure you can get registered before January 14th. But what happens if I register after that? You're fine. What happens if I show up the day of? You're fine. We're going to have you complete the same registration process on site. The January 14th date is just to guarantee a free t-shirt in your size. It is not the deadline for the event or anything like that. You can show up Friday night and register. Okay? So if you have an Eventbrite account, you can log in and have your information. This is all pretty basic stuff. Your name and your email address are going to be required. I think Eventbrite will send you some updates and things like that. The other required information that we're going to ask for is the age. Anyone under the age of 18 must be accompanied by a parent or guardian who is over the age of 18. I'm not going to put my age in here. I'll say it in Japanese. Sanju Kusai desu. Go see if you can understand that. Again, I'm not giving away a lot of personal information in this video, especially not my age. I don't mind giving my t-shirt size away. That's an extra large. So that's the thing with the early bird registration. We want to know that we've got your correct t-shirt size so that we can order that and have enough time for those t-shirts to come in. Just for fun, you can check your skills on here. What are you into? Into a lot of things. Okay, there's the code of conduct, which you're going to have to agree to. If you get e-tickets or have the Eventbrite app, that does help us at registration. If you can just show us on your phone that QR code and we can scan it, that's pretty quick. You can print something out, but we'll also have everybody's names, so just give us your first and last name at registration and we'll be sure to get you checked in. So that is, after you complete that registration, that's how we can guarantee your t-shirt. If you register before January 14th, that's how we know that you're coming. That's how we can count you and make sure that we're ordering enough food and things like that. And that's also where you're going to agree to the code and conduct of the Global Game Jam. So anyone who comes on site, even if you're just going to hang out for a day or whatever, you need to register so that we have your agreement for the code of conduct, especially. So that's step one of registering to participate. There is another step. Step two is registering on the Global Game Jam's site itself. This is where you're going to sort of register yourself as a jammer, register your team and your project, and then later down the road, if you want to say, hey, check out my Global Game Jam project I did in 2020, here's a link to it. it will refer people back to this site. And again, pretty basic registration process and making an account with the Global Game Jam. So I'm not going to demonstrate the whole thing, but we will have this link. And again, if we have listed up the previous years of games that were made here in Nashville, this is the site where all that information is hosted on. So that is the second registration. First registration is Eventbrite. Second registration is the Global Game Jam website. Don't forget to do both of those. Okay. So other things for Nashville game developers, there are some events coming up. The first thing we'd like to tell you about is that November is National Game Design Month. And I'm going to again have the website link here. And you can get the information about how, in this case, you've got a month to make a game, and it's going on nationally. Nashville game developers, we are going to be involved in this. Some of us will be making some games in the public eye. So what I'd like you to do is keep an eye out on Facebook, Twitter, and Discord to see when some of the Nashville Game Dev members will be demoing game design in public, and check that out. Another big event coming up is the Grand Ole Game Room Expo, November 8th through 10th. That is Veterans Day weekend 2019. If you've never been to the Expo, it's a great show. Pinball, arcade, retro gaming, tournaments going on all weekend. It's a game nerd's heaven for a solid weekend. And if you want to get into this show for free, I'm going to post the link so you can sign up to volunteer. Now, I've volunteered at the Expo for the past couple of years now, and that's just been a whole lot of fun. If you're a nerd like me who likes setting up game consoles, if you can help set up the PS4s, the Switches for the tournaments, help set up the pinball machines, help set up the retro games, the Ataris, the old Nintendos, all these retro consoles that David, the showrunner, has. It's a lot of fun to get your hands on that history of gaming. And if you just work for a few hours setting up, helping break down, helping people with VR sets, checking attendees' badges as they walk in the doors, just work, volunteering for the show for a few hours, and you'll get a t-shirt for the show, and you can also enjoy the rest of your time over the weekend for free. So again, I'm going to post the link in this video description for how to sign up as a volunteer. And if you volunteer, just work for a few hours, get into the show for free. I've done the math. It's actually a better deal than working minimum wage or working a lot of hourly shifts. If you calculate how much it costs to get into the show divided by the just a few number of hours you have to work, it's a pretty good deal. And I encourage you, if you want to get involved with gaming, just gaming culture here in the Nashville area, to volunteer for the Grand Ole Game Room Expo. Okay, guys, so that's it. This is the first basic rundown of the 2020 Global Game Jam we are having in Nashville, Tennessee, January 31st through February 2nd. I will be posting these updates on a regular basis. Get out to the GoFundMe, make a donation, get registered, and get ready to make a game for the Global Game Jam in 2020. I will see you next time.